The surgeon asked me a question that was quite emotional. It is still quite emotional. He asked me, wow, yeah. He asked me if I spoke to my wife and my son. I woken up by this incredible pain and not being able to breathe. So I just, sprang from the bed, and that woke up my wife. And I said, no, I'll be fine. And she goes, no, you're not. We're going to go to Burla Clinic. So they took x-rays and they, did some additional tests. So he kind of knew already that, what's happening is, requiring further attention. And I remember I was talking to the doctor from ICU who were telling me that I really need urgently another flight to Adelaide. And it was the Royal Flying Doctors. What I remember most of the entire incident is Dr. Yasmin and Nurse Chris. Immediately once they came in, I saw another stepping to the urgency.
So when I hear aortic dissections, there are a few things that go through my mind. Number one, it's a high-risk event. The risk of dying is very high. The risk of dying increases actually every minute. And the aim was to keep his systolic blood pressure at around 100, not more, not less, which required constant adjustments of the infusion pump. So when we landed in Adelaide, Chris had organized the ambulance to be there, and we went with blue lights and sirens straight to the hospital.
Knowing that I had a special aircraft to help me to get there on time. That was another thing, right? You kind of go, this is incredible.
We knew specifically on takeoff with the PC-24, the speed that the aircraft takes off, we do get a significant drop in blood pressure. We also were prepared to fly at 45,000 feet to expedite the time it took to get Robert to Adelaide. What we were also anticipating was the opposite on landing into Adelaide would be that the blood pressures would go the other way and would increase, and that we were going to have quite a busy time in maintaining Robert's blood pressure at a life-sustaining level into Adelaide. It was quite clear that with the care that we were able to provide, that the jet getting him back to Adelaide fast, he had a good chance. When Yasmin rang me a couple of days later and told me just how significant his time in theatre was, which was about 10 hours, to have then made it through the ICU period and he was now doing okay, it was very, very satisfying. So all those resources that we'd put into getting Robert safely to Adelaide had come to fruition.
I was kind of resolved, if I don't make it, I had a good life. So I rang my son, and he was in Europe, traveling to Ibiza, and he wanted to know if he needs to fly back home. I said, mate, I'm in good hands, and I'll be all right. And the second most emotional time in my life was when I got up and my wife was next to my bed. Wow. To me, Royal Flying Doctors is saving Robert Wendell. You saved my life, guys. Saving lives.